king, I am not a god, I am Hump
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. You requested Ash build for level cap, you request and I deliver. So this video is about Ash Prime build for level 9199 steel path enemies in Warframe. Yeah boy! Welcome back, Tano. I hope you enjoyed the speedrun. As always, before I build a weapon or warframe, I rely on my method called DVS. D how I'll be dealing damage, V how I'll be proccing 10 stacks of viral for 325% more damage to enemies HP, S stands for stripping enemies armor. We don't care about armor, what we care about is what comes with armor, which is damage reduction, and by armor stripping them, we lower their damage reduction, so we deal higher damage. Now before we move any further in the video and I show you the build and so everything makes sense for you, we're gonna talk about shield gating in Warframe. Nobody really takes time and explain it to you. What is shield gating? To understand shield gating, you need to understand shield gate. The gate is the part where you lose your shield, the screen shakes and glitches, and you enter a invulnerability phase. The duration of that invulnerability is affected by how much shield you have. It's capped at 1150 shields for 2.5 seconds, except Hildrin, which is irrelevant, for 3.5 seconds, and the teammates. Back to the topic. Alright, in Warframe, when you get a big hit, you lose just your shield, you enter gating phase, and then if you don't return your shield before the gating phase ends, which is the invulnerability, you're gonna get hit in your HP, so you're going to die. So, shield gating is basically returning your shield before the invulnerability phase ends when you're at gate phase, so you don't get hit in your HP. Now, Toxin in the other hand will bypass your shield and hit you directly in your HP, rolling guard, or just keep, for example, transferring between your operator and Warframe with the right arcane. For operator, you can return your health all the time, and pretty much it's easy to cleanse yourself from that. So that's the shield gating. As always, we take beginners friendly approach for Thanos that doesn't know anything about Ash and they're trying to learn about him. Ash kit is really simple to use and he's very popular Warframe, so I'll try to make this as fast as possible. Now, passive. Slash statue effect inflicted on enemies do 25% increased damage and last 50% longer. So if you want to make the most use of Ash passive, you need to use a weapons proc slash or guaranteed slash, or they can get proc slash. And this passive becomes even more powerful if you use a multiplicative faction mode on your weapons. I'm talking about Bane Grineer, or Smite Grineer, or Smite Corpus, or whatever. Alright, now, Ash first ability, Shuriken. Launches a spinning blade of pain, dealing high damage and impaling enemies to walls, proccing slash, and it got an amazing augment called Seeking Shuriken. Hits expose a weakness on enemies, reducing their armor by 70% for 8 seconds. The 70% scales with the ability strength, so you can reach actually 100% armor strip. You can get this augment from Arbiters of Hexis or Red Veil. The second ability is what makes you invisible, but the problem with the smoke screen, it doesn't matter how much duration you throw in there, it's never enough. So I hope one day DE decides to make this ability scales normally with ability duration. It will be amazing. Now, it got two augments. Smoke Shadow conceals allies within 15 meters for 8 seconds and grants 150% critical chance while invisible. Really powerful augmenter and I love it. And if you combine this with the Kullervo helmet ability, you can really break the game with critical high tiers. Now, the second one, Tear of Gas, smoke screen augmenter, blinds enemies within 4 meters for 3 seconds. You get it from the Conclave. Now, Smoke Shadow, just I want to note that you can hurt team members when they are using, for example, a negative critical chance, Philarx, Fenmore, or Latium. So keep attention there, because some Thanos will hate you for using Smoke Shadow if they're using those weapons. Teleport, you're gonna teleport to enemies and open them for finishers. Simple as that. Now, it got an augment called the Fatal Teleport. Teleport will perform a finisher on the target, dealing 200% extra damage. 50% of energy cost is refunded on kill. Makes it really good if you plan on using teleport to kill or for specific builds or style. Check, try different things. Always have fun in Warframe. Blade Storm. Project Fierce Shadow clones of Ash upon groups distant enemies. Join the fray using teleport. So you're gonna be sending like assassins to attack the target, and yeah, they're proccing slash damage and really nice. And if you plan on using Arcane Tickery, for example, right, only the direct hits can affect the Arcane Tickery. Activated, the slash will not affect it. Now, Raising Storm. Blade Storm Augment. Blade Storm attacks increase your melee count by 4. Passive plus 10 seconds combo duration. Makes it really good for the weapons that runs out of combo duration really quick. Especially if you're using Naramon and you want to play with some dexterity, Rising Storm will come in handy. You get it from Arbiter of Hexes and Red Veil. Now, if you plan on putting Ash Prime into the garage and tuning his kit, what helmet ability you would like to use and what ability you want to replace the helmet ability with. First thing first, Smoke Screen is something you don't want to trifle with or change or touch, because Smoke Screen is what make Ash and Ash for invisibility and the critical chance increase. Changing this ability for any helmet ability, doesn't matter what, even Quiver, is like deleting Ash from your inventory. Simple as that. Now, Shuriken, Teleport, Blade Storm, changing them will decide what playstyle you're going for. For example, Shuriken, I would keep it, okay, if I don't have any source of armor stripping enemies. But I will be using the augment, so I have to think about it on the build. Simple as that. Now, if I have a source of armor stripping enemies, Palish Terrify, let's say Tempest Barrage with 2 Emerald Archon Shards, or I have a primary weapon, I'm going to be stripping enemies with 2 Emerald Archon Shards, for example, Epitaph, or whatever. I have a source of armor stripping in general. I will not keep Shuriken. I will remove it and replace it with anything else. If I want to keep Shuriken because I like the ability and I want to armor strip with it, I will replace Teleport or Blade Storm. I highly recommend, and the best is Teleport to switch in that case, because Teleport is not really that amazing. Even the augment is not that amazing, but still, it's really good. I'm not saying it's bad, but, you know, depends on the style, like I said. Blade Storm is a must-have. It's really amazing, awesome. It actually gives you the vibe of a space ninja sending the shadows to kill enemies. It's really awesome and powerful. And the Rising Storm is not so bad when it comes to melee weapons with combo duration and stuff like that. Okay, so slam builds can benefit a lot from Blade Storm and Teleport, but you have to think always how you're going to balance your build towards what? Slamming with finisher with melee crescendo and using Teleport and Blade Storm on the enemies, or you're going to be Shuriken to armor strip the enemies, and so on. Now, the most important part in here, you keep Smoke Screen. I don't care what you do else. Always follow the DVS. Damage, viral, strip, do whatever you want, keep Smoke Screen, and you'll be good. Throw as much duration in there because this ability sucks when it comes to duration. Just let's talk about the Archon Shards. I'll be running 1 Tau Forged Azure Archon Shards for 75 energy, so I can reach 500 energy because Ash Prime cannot reach that. So, we need the help of Azure. The reason for the 2 Violet Archon Shards, you have them Tau Forged if you can afford that. So, it requires over 500 energy for the damage boost to be doubled, as it increases 25% melee critical damage. Really powerful. Now, the 2 Emerald Archon Shards to increase your corrosive stacks from 10 to 14 to armor strip enemies with your weapon without relying on any ability or focus school, alright? So, it's optional. Because I'll be relying on my dual Toxicase to armor strip the Thraxis and Nourish to proc viral on them, full DVS. Now, you can use 2 Violet Archon Shards instead of the Emerald Archon Shards, and then you will need to use the Shuriken with the augment, so you can armor strip with Shuriken, and case closed. Easy as that. Now, when it comes to the build, Brief Respite. Remember when we talked about shield gating? Brief Respite will play the biggest role in here, as the energy you spent on abilities, 150% of it will be transferred to your shields. So when you reach the gate, use any abilities. We're talking about Nourish in here, right about here, as it uses 77, and you're running negative efficiency, alright, 77, it will return your shield really fast. Now you'd say, Hank, you're invisible, why the heck would you need this? Simply because there is Bombarders, Eximus, and at level cap, enemies are really smashing you big time. Now, Continuity, Rolling Guard, Equilibrium, negative efficiency, Nourish, Energize, you need the energy, trust me, you don't want to be Ash without energy. Smoke Shadow for critical chance, Primed Flow for energy max, Narrow-Minded, Blind Rage, Umbrella Intensify, Precision, it depends on the weapon you're using. If it's a melee weapon, it's going to be Fury, if it's attack speed weapon, it's going to be Strike, if rage, precision, I don't care, molt augment, I don't care what you're going to be using. Just switch it, depends on what you want. Here, if you're feeling uncomfortable and you think you're getting knocked down here and there, which I level capped many times with Ash, I didn't get knocked down, and even I get knocked down, I'm invisible and I can recover unless I have toxin and heat and whatever, and you're gonna be fine. So I'll be running here something like, for example, strength, or if you're feeling uncomfortable, you can run prime sure-footed, but I don't think it's necessary on Ash. Okay, simple as that. Now, Nourish in here for the first build showcase, Nourish in here for the stuff. Now, when it comes to dual Toxicist, this is the build I used on the video, using secondary fortifier for the extra overguard, so I'm resisting knockdown, because that's what overguard does, and this is the build, and I'm using the suppress, because you don't want the AoE enemies hitting you at the fire they hear. So because if you fire right here and the enemies hear you, they will fire there and you're gonna be shield gating all the day long. Wave Primer, we're gonna be running this build right here, the melee elementalista for the heavy outwit dab speed, shocking touch for electricity, melee influence. You already know about this, the build is in the channel. Now when it comes to the Fox School, there is a lot of tricks here. You'll be using Naramon if you're using an Ikana or a weapon that requires combo to sustain, or you're gonna be using 2 arcane dexterities on your primary and secondary, which I don't like really. It's like very optional. Now, or you're gonna be using Unairo if you plan on armor stripping without the need of Shuriken or Tempest Barrage or 2 Emerald Archon shards. So Unairo is your friend on armor stripping. Now when it comes to Madurai, is really amazing because we can take down Thrax really fast. Boom, 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 boom. Now remember, every Fox School can take down Thrax at level cap. The difference is Madurai with Void Strike, Eternal Enslaud, Eternal Eradicate, the AMP 177, you can actually one-shot them very fast. With the other Fox School, you need to perform headshots so you can kill them fast. Without headshots, they will take a minute and enemies will hit you, you will transfer in, transfer out. You know, it's tricky. But headshots, with any Fox School, you can kill any enemies. When it comes to the companions, okay, I'll be using my baby Nautilus. Why Nautilus? Nautilus Cordon to pull enemies, Duplex for the shadows, Assault to attack, Vacuum to the loot, Manifold for the Cordon. Now we got here Shield, Armor, Health, Reinforced Bond for fire rate, and Tenacious Bond for critical damage, but you need 50% critical chance. That comes the Verglass Prime with the Riven. You need the Riven for critical chance, it doesn't have to be the same Riven, otherwise use the Verclog, or just use Verglass, it's as powerful as is, without the critical chance, but you will need to get the Riven very soon. Now let's go to Simulacrum. So, we're going to summon level 225 Heavy Corrupted Gunner as the Steel Path Edition. Simply, we're going to be using Nourish and attacking those enemies like so. Okay? Simple as that. Look at that. Easy, right? Okay. Now, the idea of armor stripping with 2 Emerald Archon shards is I'm going to be using the Dual Toxicist, and it's modded for Corrosive. Okay? Give me a second, activating a Carnon form, and I'll be stripping those enemies and taking them down. I'm not using invisibility yet, so I want to show you something you need to understand. Okay, now, if you pay attention in here, my Glaive Prime is using the, what? Using the Sacrificial Steel. Now, when I go invisible, I will increase my critical chance by 150%, and now we are higher in critical tier, so I'll be using Galvanized Steel instead. Okay? I want you to pay attention in there. Alright, let's go. So now when I go invisible, increasing my critical chance. Okay, making up the Sacrificial Steel heavy attack visibility. And then I'll be just hitting those enemies. As you can see, there is orange crits here and there. Right? Boom, 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 boom. And taking down those enemies like so. As you can see, we're not proccing viral. And we're not armor stripping anything yet. Okay, now when we add Nourish to this equation. Okay, so we have the DV now without the S. Enemies will be one-shotted like you just saw. There you go. Right, boom, boom, and they're pretty much dead. Now, when we talk about armor stripping, we can use Unairo, we can use whatever. But let's make this short, okay? What you're gonna do, if you want to armor strip just with Ash, you want to go to his augments and you replace Equilibrium with, boom, Seeking Shuriken. Now, check this out. So, we're gonna be invisible. Now, the 2 Emerald Archon shards are useless. 100%. Because check this out. Boom, stripped, 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 stripped. Viral. And there you go. That. Stripped. So you're going to be using the first ability and you'll be armor stripping them with Shuriken. Now this is really good when it comes, for example, to the Demolists or something like that. Or you can go for the Thraxes. Let's summon a Thrax really quick. You can even strip him as well. Thrax Centurions, here you go, 17 of them, who cares? There you go, Thraxis. As you can see, they can be stripped. Okay, and this is really, really good. The idea and why I didn't use Shuriken on the speedrun is because I'm using my dual Toxicist anyway to kill this guy and to get the Overguard right there to resist knockdowns. Okay, so that's why I use the 2 Emerald Darkon shards and to give you different options from the ordinary. But in real gameplay, you'll be using Shuriken like so, and you'll be like armor stripping them and killing them and viral and all. Now, what you've been waiting for is this. There you go. The Wrathful Advance with 199 critical chance. Now, what's going to happen when we use this? Let's delete all this. Heavy Salted Cannons right about here. And boom, check this out. Invisibility, right? And then we're going to be using the Wrathful Advance. Now we have high critical chance, but no armor stripping and no viral. Look at this. Red crits, and we are a happy family. But you already can feel we're missing something. We're missing the stripping and we're missing the viral. So what we're going to do is we're going to remove Equilibrium again, and we're going to be using Seeking Sugarcane in here. So the viral source can be, for example, from Sedo. Okay, let's hope my Sedo has viral to it. I don't know, like I have a lot of heals for this guy. Okay, this one has viral, so whatever, who cares? Okay, so what we can do, we can use, for example, Sedo. We're going to be invisible. Teleport, right about like so. And then I'll be using Shuriken to armor strip these guys. Boom, 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 really quick. As you can see, even my my companion are proccing viral on the enemies, but we're going to be using Sedo anyway. There you go. And then, check this out. They will not survive these hits. It doesn't matter how good those enemies are. Alright, so again, one more time. Porting. Go, using the Shuriken here and there. Okay, and then using Sedo. And then hitting them, and they're pretty much gone. Of course, you can remove the Shuriken, you can use Tempest Barrage, you still have two Emerald Darkon shards, so you can armor strip them, and you'll be pretty much happy. And I know a lot of you been wondering about the new Dread Augment, so I'm gonna go invisible, and as you can see right here, the Dread's critical damage increase during invisibility. We're gonna make that in the video about the Dread, so stay tuned for that. Now, another example we can use, for example, Harmony. Everybody knows Harmony and how powerful it is. We're gonna be using Nourish right about here for the viral, and then what we're gonna be simply doing, we're gonna be using Unairo to armor strip, and check this out. 32 million, look at that. Boom, 9 million, 62 million. This is a heavy attack on my Harmony, and don't worry, the Harmony build is coming soon to the channel, so stay tuned for that. Look at that, let's armor strip these guys. Look at that, 4 million, easy. Let's do it one more time. Quickly armor stripping them. You can armor strip them with Unairo, so you don't need Shuriken anymore. And there you go, 42 million, 199 million. And yeah, stay tuned for the Harmony build, it's really coming soon. And I know you guys, after seeing this, you cannot unsee it. There you go, 42 million. Look at that. Really, really powerful stuff. 120 million, just heavy attacking, normally without the need of anything else. Simply. In the end of the video, as my conclusion, Ash is a 9 out of 10. He would be 10 out of 10 if the invisibility smoke affected by ability duration the right way. Otherwise, he's 9 out of 10. He's one of my favorite Warframe and one of my mains, because my main is Nidus, you already know that, but he's my favorite invisible Warframe, to be honest. He's an amazing Warframe. I highly recommend having him, and he's really, really, really powerful. So when it comes to helmet abilities, and if you don't like any of the helmet abilities I just suggested, of course, Silence is the best for him. Like, go Silence. Except Nourish and the Tempest Barrage and the Wrathful Advance, Silence is really, really powerful in him, so try it out. I want to say thank you so much for watching. Special thanks to everyone ever supported this channel by liking, subbing, commenting, or joining our Discord in the description. Special thanks to special VIPs, Rekaka, Illusion, Orfrir, and Irish, and the whole of donations and disputed free hate, Kali, Rekol, Free, Victor, Mr. B, Mika, Wes, Milan, Ilunot, and Noob Master, and everyone in my community. And I will see you guys next time. Stay tuned for the Harmony level cap.